Yes, Commissioner. It's the Riddler. We're on our way. To the Bat Falls.
Welcome back, citizens, to an all-new episode of the Batcave podcast. It's your old bat chum, John S. Drew here, and I know this is going to sound weird. We're back with a new episode of our Some Days You Can't Just Get Rid of a Bomb series. We didn't run off after our last episode, and when I say we, I mean, of course, our old chum here, Robert Long. Hey, Robert.
Hey, good to meet you, Mr. Drew. How do you do?
Some may think we will run out of town or something after our last episode, but frankly, we got a lot of compliments for covering in the way we did, that X-rated version of Batman that was done by, Vivid Films a few years ago.
Axel Braun, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, does that mean I can come out of witness protection now?
I think it's safe to say. I mean, there were some people who expressed their disappointment. And I don't know if they've moved on or if they're just quietly listening. If you're still here, thank you for that. But no, the reason why there was such a gap was just work-related things that I was dealing with and trying to connect. And I was doing poorly with Robert here. And I appreciate your patience, Robert, as we finally get back into the swing of things here.
Well, real life does get in the way. And 2020 has not been kind to anyone, John.
No, which is why all the more I want to get these going again, because as you and I were talking about just before the show started, you said you wanted to just have some fun yourself and bring some joy to others. And I think what we're going to do today, if you don't get a chance to see it, folks, maybe you might even want to go and watch it before you listen to this. I think this will bring you some joy.
Yeah, it's only, 13 minutes, John?
It's only 13 minutes long. And as it says right on the tin, when you start the video, it says a Batman fan film. It's done by the Parkview Music Club, a grammar school, after school, I guess, activity there. And this isn't the first one they've done. They've actually done one, I don't know, I won't say every year, but I know there is a Star Trek one that is done as well.
I need to check that out.
Yeah. Yep. And just like with this, as it says the Parkview Music Club, there is a heavy musical element to not only the plot, but of course there is a soundtrack which is done, I'm assuming, by the Parkview Music Club, that the kids are talented musicians themselves.
That wasn't Nelson Riddle?
That was not Nelson Riddle. I mean, it certainly sounds like Nelson Riddle. Right down to, the certain intonation. They really mimic it well, but no, that was not Nelson Riddle.
I don't have any background on them. Do you know if they're in the States? Are they in Canada?
No,
Parkview?
They are in the States. I didn't get a chance to see exactly where. They have a Facebook page. In fact, I just discovered it today as I was doing a little more research and stuff and trying to find out some more about them. And the Facebook page was as active as of December of 2019, in which they announced at the time that they had entered this very thing we're going to talk about today into a film festival and had made it as one of the finalists or something. Very, very cool.
I have no idea how film festivals treat fan films, but I wish them luck because I'm going to tip my hand a little bit here, ladies and gentlemen. This turned out to be pretty neat.
It did. And because the thing is, when you put it forward that you're saying this is a fan film, then as fans, we're going to expect certain things. And I think that this production, all 13 minutes of it, manages to hit just about every note correctly.
Yeah, just about every beat, and it's kind of funny because they even got a two-parter into these 13 minutes, and it's like, why was our stuff 50 minutes? What did we do wrong?
Well, when you look at it, it is a little lopsided because yes, it's 13 minutes, but like 9 minutes is part 1 and 4 minutes is part 2, and part 2 is primarily just fight scene, but still very cool.
True. And I mean, I'll put this out here. I think most, if not all, of the performances were very well done, but they also speak a little fast.
Yes.
Like, probably nervousness or something. So they weren't speaking at a natural cadence. And it's like, well, that's gonna speed things up fast.
Right. There was that, and there was also, and I won't say it was bad. It was actually pretty good. Some ADR done in this as well, where I guess the kids were not clear enough when they initially did it.
Well, I'm sure that they weren't shooting on sets. It did look like locations. So
right,
yeah.
So this is, as Robert said, it's a two-parter, and it's called "The Scheme Is Sound." The quartet's final round. So again, also we're right off the bat we're getting a rhyming couplet.
And I'm going to order a quarter pound. That was the three-parter.
That was the three-parter. There's a lot of nice little nods in this too, to the series. Things that you would say, "Oh, I recognize that," or "I think this is really cute," and what have you. Including right off the bat, there it is. The Batman in color without the in color, but Batman, the logo, and the kids all chanting. Like
it did say in color.
Did it say in color? I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
yeah.
but right there and then, that it's like those little things when you go out of your way to do it. I mean, granted, it's also another opportunity because the kids sing that, as they will also sing the theme song.
Oh, yeah. It's before we get really into the thick of the things, I mean, this has, number one, this has nice production values for what it is. Do you think they had to sell like band candy or something? I mean, Batmobile rentals do not come cheap.
Batmobile rental, costume design, and because, spoilers, I mean, we haven't gotten into the story yet. All 4 villains of the United Underworld are in this episode.
That's true. I would say 95% of those costumes were the ones that were available as of just a few years ago. The ones that you could get through Halloween stores.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. There would have, well, yeah, I guess now that I think about it, yeah, all 4 villains would definitely as kids, and they probably would have, but right down to being 66 authentic for kids?
Well, yeah. I mean, they probably bought the smallest ones.
Right.
Or maybe it even had. I'm judging it off the one that the kid that played Batman was wearing.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, that may have been an adult one that they resized.
Okay. Yeah.
But I digress. We're jumping ahead, folks. I'm sorry.
Speaking of adults also that were resized, I've got to say one of the things I know I'm jumping a little head here too, but I had to laugh every time because the editing was almost flawless. As you mentioned, Batmobile rental. We do see the Batmobile driving, and when we see the Batmobile pull up, the camera angle is just good enough so that you don't exactly see our kid Batman driving, and then the next cut is them getting out of the car. But at the same time, you do catch a little bit of a glance at Batman at one point there, and I could swear he had a mustache.
Well, it was Hubie Kearns.
It was not. Don't say things like that. I'll be like, really?
Okay, it was Victor Paul.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things here to really love and appreciate. And when you hear as we tell you the story here, as we unpack it here, you'll also see they gave it some thought as to what the scheme is, which again, 13 minutes, it's damn impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at my notes. The third time around that I've taken these, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there's Batman's next case is what the hell happened to my other two sets of notes. It's just we're going to get into this, and there's some neat little tidbits to bring up. So, well, it's high noon in Gotham City there.
It's a beautiful day in Gotham City. For many, it's lunchtime.
Our William Dozier, but actually getting the belting out and the enthusiasm.
Dishwasher's broke. Again. Tell her to come down to the warehouse. I've got a whole new shipment of the latest model dishwashers. Just came in.
There was those odd ones where it's like, all right, her pause there where she says again was just weird, but okay, you know? And the waitress is talking to one of her customers, Rose Pinkston, who has like, I guess, an appliance warehouse or something. She offers to sell her a good one at a reasonable rate when suddenly the door opens and in walks the Riddler and his goons.
Yes, his goons that are all dressed like the kids from Zoom.
Yes. But it works.
Absolutely. No, you can tell they're thugs.
Yes. I like also that we talk about performances, some being better than others. I liked this kid Riddler.
Riddle me this. What kind of a pie is sweet and yummy, but can't be enjoyed? Answer, a real knockout. Hear the trees, go to sleep.
I think he was brilliant. I think he had the energy that Frank had. I think the riddle he gave was absolutely terrible.
Yes. Well, that one was. I think the one he left for Batman was pretty good.
Yeah, but, you know, what kind of pie or whatever, blah, 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 a real knockout, and, like, that doesn't work.
No. But what does work is he actually did a good attempt for a kid at the laugh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, and the costume is just spot on. It's wonderful.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, he comes in and like you said, he's got that corny riddle and stuff about, and the answer being, you know, knockout pie or something like that. And he hits Rose with a pie. He hits then also the owner and the waitress with a pie, knocking them all out. And the goons run off carrying Rose with them.
And we get a little bit of their music here, folks.
Yes.
Or their singing. Is it just me, John? I mean, I'm not trying to be cruel or anything. I'm not trying to be cruel at all. But it's like, I think the whole tone through the musical parts is monotone through the entire show.
I mean, it's. I don't know if that's meant to be done on purpose, or if it's just that's the one area music-wise the kids aren't as skilled at. Is singing. I get exactly what you're saying because it's a shame too because the lyrics that they come up with for some of these, like the actual bat fight and the penguin, I thought were actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I have to think that it was probably because, I mean, they're not even teenagers yet, so you know they don't have that maturity in their voice yet. It's not bad. It just comes off a little monotone.
Right. Exactly. Yep. But we then cut to, Gotham City Police Department there, the headquarters, and it's not a bad fact. I mean, obviously it's not the building. They didn't bother doing something like, stock footage or anything. They shoot outside a building, but it's got the steps leading up to the doors and everything. And it's a nice touch. They've obviously got some of the kids walking by dressed in 60s clothing, but then they also have 60s style cars driving by.
Absolutely. Again, this was like, how many favors did they have to call in? Because they've got, beautiful, pristine cars from the period, as well as, everybody's dressed appropriately Gotham City-wise.
Mm-hmm. They went out of their way not only to make you feel like you were watching a Batman episode, but it had to look like Batman of that era. It would be very easy in this modern age to say we're doing Batman and you could play the camp up as much as you want, but you forget things like Batman suddenly pulls out, a cell phone or something like that. They don't do that at all.
Nope. We got traditional phones in this one.
Yep, exactly. Our Gordon and O'Hara.
What? No. Of course.
Saints alive! What's happened?
The Riddler's at it again. This time, he abducted a customer from the Gotham City Drive-In.
Commissioner, this is more than we can handle.
I don't know who he is under that mask, but he's there when we need him, and we need him now.
I liked O'Hara. The kid who plays O'Hara looks just as befuddled as Stafford Rep did.
He could have been Stafford Rep as a child. And, he played it perfectly.
He did.
And the kid that was playing Gordon didn't do a bad job.
No, he didn't.
It's just so funny with somebody so young trying to get that gravitas across.
Right.
You can almost see him spitting his words.
Yeah, because that's one thing Neil Hamilton had was a level of gravitas that is hard to match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they shot it in somebody's very nice office.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the wood paneling and that, and again, they're trying to match it the best they can. I give them credit.
Well, that's the other thing too, because you said it's on location. There really aren't any sets, and that's the interesting thing because we had the diner, we've got Gordon's office, we're going to have Bruce's living room. Those are easy, and then you get to the museum. And they shoot it in a museum. We're not there yet, but they shoot that in a museum. Like that's again, you're thinking budget and timing, and I'm just curious, how long did this thing? It's only 13 minutes. How long did it take to shoot?
Yeah, just the logistics behind it. That would be a fascinating story in itself.
Right. It's ambitious.
Beyond ambitious. Although I will say within the next scene, it gets just a tad bit cheap. It makes me laugh when I look at it.
I got a feeling I know what you're talking about there. As usual, Gordon and O'Hara are in over their heads, so they call in Batman. We get the bat phone.
I'll summon him, sir.
It's lunchtime.
It's the bat phone, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't hear it. I just remembered. I promised to take the crappie fishing. Save us back a plate.
Jiminy Wilkers! Let's catch some fish.
Not a bad approximation, finding a house that looks like the facade of Wayne Manor.
Could have been like an old college building or something, but
Right.
the facade looked really nice.
Yeah. And Alfred has a little too much hair on his head.
Oh, I have in my notes here, Alfred is a cross between Colonel Sanders and Captain Kangaroo. Instead of milk and cookies, he brings a bucket of chicken to Dick.
Oh, man. And so, he goes out as Aunt Harriet is calling everyone to dinner, and he tells Bruce it's the bat phone. So, of course, we're going to use the old fishing line to get out of this.
Oh, yeah. Now, we meet Bruce and Dick here in, it's not their living room, I guess. It's the study. I'm a little confused there because obviously they couldn't really mock it up to look like anything on the show.
Right.
But I was really impressed with the kid that's doing Burt Ward.
He has the enthusiasm. I think he tried a little too hard to do like an older voice to sound a little older, but he definitely had the enthusiasm down.
Yeah, he had the energy, and then the young man that was playing Bruce Wayne and Batman. I've got a note. I think he's wearing a bad wig.
Oh, I think so.
I don't think that's his real hair. It's like he's got a Beatles wig on.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of that 70s child star Mason Reese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Get your classic pickles and your Dunkin' Donuts.
And he's probably wearing that wig because I think you also mentioned that, like Mason Reese, he probably has red hair.
Yeah, I was just basing that off of how light his eyebrows are. I mean, a lot of gingers, their eyebrows are very light.
Right.
Yeah, for all I know, hey, maybe they got Mason Reese in there. That was a grab if they did.
Right.
Kudos to them.
But his portrayal was pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. He's definitely got Adam's beats down. I mean, let's face it, folks. It's hard for anybody but Adam to do Adam.
Yeah, that's true. I have to wonder, though, if that's because it's been a while since I've watched it. I mentioned the Star Trek one. I think he's the same, person who plays Kirk in the Star Trek one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
so. He takes 5 minutes to say one sentence.
Oh, man. I love because they go into the study, they take the call, and then, he's like to the bat poles, and they turn, and there's the bus. And you know what bus that is?
That's the Diamond Comics bus.
Yes.
that I think it's a bank.
It is a bank, yes.
Yeah, you have to pay it in order for the bookcase to open
up. Now, was that where you were having a problem? Was the bookcase?
No.
No.
What I was having a problem is when the bookcase is sliding open, I'm looking at all the color photocopies of the books.
Yeah.
And then the two flat poles behind it.
Oh, man. And so they go down the poles, and of course, just like in the 60s show, we then cut to the opening credits, where they just pretty much, it's beat for beat the same animation. I mean, there's a few little things they play up a little more and stuff. What really is catching is just the kids' version of Batman.
Yeah. I mean, they don't do a bad job with it, and the credits are different. I mean, they did have to go in and put, Batman created by Bob Kane, right, and based on this, and it's a fan film. They don't put who's starring in any of them. So It's like, maybe, and they probably had to redo some of that artwork. So, give them credit.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Now, I got to ask, though, we do not get, and I liked this, we don't get a Batcave at all. They didn't make an attempt to try and simulate it in any way. And they've actually got a little clever way later on so that we don't have to go back to the Batcave, which we'll get into.
Yes.
But where did because we talked about this before the show started. Where did the Batmobile come from?
I believe that was a Canadian builder built that back in the 90s. I remember it being focused on in a magazine called Model and Toy Collector, and I recognized it for a couple of reasons. One being is that the entire interior is covered with rivets, so it's the dashboard looks very steampunkish.
Okay.
So that's a telltale that it's like, okay, it's that guy's. Otherwise, very beautiful car.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't know if Captain Nemo's going to be driving it, but.
Oh, man. Now they get to headquarters, and Gordon hands Batman the riddle from the Riddler. You can look at me, but don't give me a hand. All right. As far as the riddle itself, it's a little clumsy in the execution, but the answer makes sense because Robin points out.
It's there.
Robin points out that it's an exhibit because you can look at all the items in the exhibit, but you can never touch them. So that makes sense. There probably was a better way of phrasing the riddle, but at least it works better than the other one.
If this had been the other one we had covered, it would have been a strip club.
That's true. Oh, boy.
We're doing a nice one, folks. We're doing a nice one. Batman figures out that it's the Berkeley Diamond that is currently on display at the Gotham City Museum, so off they rush to the museum. And like I said, here's another one. It's an actual museum. I'm guessing Parkland must be like a small town, though, because it's a small museum in terms of size and all, but it works perfectly
for what they're trying to do there. And they've got, the diamond on display, and Batman and Robin are met by the curator of the museum.
Mwah. Batman, what an honor to have you in our museum. Can I help you with something?
Oh no, don't worry about us. We don't want to distract from people looking at the exhibit.
This girl who is like so adorable with her accent.
Yeah, well, it may have just even been like one wing that they were allowed into.
Right.
It's like, yes, we have a lecture hall that's right off from this hallway that you can use this display case.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Now, that was a huge diamond. How many quarters did that take to get it out of the machine?
I was never good at those kinds of games.
Come on, Robin, use the claw.
And of course, just in typical Batman, we want everybody to enjoy the museum. Don't make a fuss or anything. Let them have their day. Little things like that. You say that's really cool. He notices a crowd of people entering another wing of the museum where Gustav Merlinson is giving a lecture on sound.
And so, sound is amplified. What's this? Who are you to interrupt my presentation? He's the penguin master of brilliance, Mr. Merlinson, you open class.
Mr. Merlinson, I'm in need of some sound advice. Wah, wah, wah.
Yes, our foreign scientists that were quite big on the old TV show themselves. So,
absolutely.
And I think he stole Alfred's hair.
Yeah, either that or they it's the same kid playing the role, but like they just rearranged the hair, because also Alfred looked like the hair was in his eyes more.
That's true. Or it could be his cousin Egbert.
Oh, there you go. Egbert pulling off another con.
Anyways, but yes, he's doing a lecture on sound, is it not?
Yes, that is correct. When he's interrupted by the arrival of Penguin and his goons. Now, yeah. I got to say, this one, I like this kid playing the Penguin.
Yeah, no, that is the only costume that they would have had to actually custom make. Because they didn't make a penguin costume.
Okay.
But they did a fantastic job.
They did.
I mean, it's right down to the purple bow tie, purple hat, the white, waistcoat and everything. And the kid does a good job. He does.
Especially, and again, a little more emphasis, a little more direction there. That when he's doing the wah, 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 it's a little monotone. But honestly, as I was listening to him and watching him, I said, you know what? He's doing a better Penguin, Burgess Meredith Penguin, than the actor who did the Penguin in the two animated films with Bert and Dick. Or Bert and Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, had they given the kid a few packs of smokes.
I don't know if they want to be that authentic. Oh, man. And of course, he's kidnapped by Penguin just as our other woman was at the beginning of the story here. They quickly escape, getting away, and as Batman and Robin run out, there's Robin.
Oh, we frozen banana peels, Batman! Penguin gave us a slip!
You mean it's not a ballpoint banana?
But I thought that was cute. I mean, just little things like I could see Burt Ward saying that line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I really appreciate the kid that's doing the impression of Robin. I mean, they're all doing a great job. But, yeah, you get a little bit of a chuckle there. He's like, okay, he's doing Bert there.
Yep, exactly. They pick up a piece of copper that was dropped by one of the goons during the escape.
Just happened to be dropped.
Right, just happened to be dropped. Hey, we only got 13 minutes. We got to have a little shortcuts here to get some of this thing going here. They take it over to the mobile computer, Bat computer in the Batmobile. So we're able to avoid having to go back to the Batcave and setting all that up, which I thought was brilliant. And I'm assuming that what we see actually there in that trunk was part of that Batmobile. It's not anything they had designed.
No, it's part of the Batmobile. That's also another telltale that I knew it was the Canadian Batmobile.
Okay.
Because they showed pictures of it in the magazine with the trunk open.
Okay, well, there you go. But I liked that. I liked it. And, of course, it leads them to an abandoned copper factory where the piece came from.
Oh, brother.
Hey, come on. We got, that's another Batman feature. All these abandoned, like the abandoned TV dinner factory at in Return of the Cape Crusaders. I mean, come on, they're all there.
No, it's just that, we've got to go through that window. We're here in the warehouse section, and how'd they get a nightclub out here? I'm just like, oh, please, I mean, not to compare, but that's exactly what happened in the prior show that we did. John.
Oh, that's true. You got it right there. Oh, wow.
The nightclub top floor, we got a parallel there.
Oh, man. So they race to there, and again, nice little touch as they're taking off. We do get the Batmobile start up in the sense of we see the fire coming out of the back.
Yes, that actually shoots 6 feet out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be standing behind that particular vehicle. Mm-hmm. Then we get a process shot of them.
Yes.
And it's funny because they're supposed to be in downtown and they're like out in the country with like a truck to one side.
Yeah. But it does allow us to have them, talking about everything that's happened up to this point and trying to figure things out. And that's when Batman points out that Gustav was a student of the man who invented the loudspeaker, whose name I've forgotten now already. But again, it's like everything we're seeing here, because this is a music club, it's all sound related to the story.
Yeah, well, I didn't think they would be putting too many film projectors in this particular.
Yeah.
Wasn't the AV club.
Right.
But no, it's very much got a theme to it. Again, it's another nice touch to how many times we saw Bert and Adam, sitting in the Batmobile talking about the case.
Right, exactly. Yep. See, those are the little things that it's like, okay. And again, I know this is the last one we talked about too. They got it. They got what was the touchstones that Batman fans will appreciate, and so does this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This gets very, very familiar here, folks, because the car pulls up right in front of an abandoned building, and you swear it's directly from 1966.
Yes, right, including with like a ramp leading up to the door.
Exactly.
Yeah. I noticed that too. And, we get, as we would in a lot of the episodes, we get a back climb because they see the open window and decide to go in that way.
True. I did think the Batarang looked a little cardboardy.
Could have been.
Yeah. Well, he's into recycling. He's into green earth.
I was a little disappointed we didn't get a window cameo.
So was I, but at the same time, who would you have gotten?
That's true.
It's like, oh, it's such and such, and we'd all be like, who? But it is funny that they're at an abandoned building, and when they start doing the bat climb, there's this office building right next to the warehouse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm picking out details. I'll just be quiet here.
So they get to the window, they climb inside, and we see that this upper floor...
Wait here.
60s dressed kids, and they're dancing in the music. And it's original music.
Welcome to my party, Batman.
Catwoman, what's your game?
For me to know and for you to find out. But first, shall we dance?
They're probably like, hey, can this be our bit, please?
Right. And who's throwing the party? Catwoman. And it's Eartha Kitt Catwoman.
That's correct. She's pretty good.
She is. She rolls her R's nicely. She, at one point, we'll hear her purr and everything. She does a pretty good job as Catwoman.
Enough! Now, Catwoman, what are you scheming? You'll know soon enough.
And she has that look of Eartha as the Catwoman as well.
Yep.
So kudos to them.
Yep, absolutely. She asks Batman to dance with her, and of course he breaks out into the Bat-2-C with Robin off to the side, kind of like.
He only has one move, John. I mean, come on.
I didn't say it was great. I just.
I'm going to do the band. Come on, don't any disco moves. You ever watch John Travolta at him? No.
And she, then catches him off guard by spraying him with gas and such, and Batman's knocked out. Meanwhile, Robin is captured by 4 of her girls.
Yep, he gets the net, and Batman gets the gas.
Yep. And I'm guessing at some point he is still knocked out too, Robin, because we then see when Robin comes around, he's the first one to come around, he finds that he and Batman are tied up in an abandoned iron factory where the Joker now greets them.
Joker! You had it hard in Iceland! You had it hard in Iceland!
Holy laugh Olympics! I should have known you'd been involved in this.
I wouldn't miss it for the world, boy blunder. Joker, you fiend! Great Scott! Of course!
What is it, Batman?
Look at what we're tied to, old chum. What do all the dishwasher motors in Gotham City have in them?
Of course, magnets! And Catwoman has a warehouse full of copper. Holy sound waves! With all of that material along with the expert scientists specializing in loudspeakers.
They just made the largest loudspeaker known to man. Yes, and at half volume, it's loud enough to knock out everyone in Gotham City National Bank.
Let's test it on the crime-fighting flyboy. Wah, wah, wah.
Why stop at half volume? We'll have a Bat Jam!
Batman and the Boy Wonder strapped to the speaker of doom? Could this be the end for the Caped Crusaders? This doesn't sound good. Stay tuned next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yes. I think we have the quartet now.
Now we have the quartet, exactly. And as the Joker is laughing and giggling away at what's going on, and Batman starts piecing everything together, in the background, and I love this, there's a United Underworld poster.
That probably cost them a pretty penny at Staples.
It was a nice touch, though.
Oh, it was beautiful. I mean, they probably found something online and had it blown up, and it looks great. I mean, it's a great piece of production value.
I'm wondering if this is what they showed the kids, was the Batman movie. Hey, kids, this year's production is going to be Batman. Oh, great. I love Michael Keaton. No, Batman. Oh, that's going to be weird with Christopher, what's his name?
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like, no, it's Adam West. Who?
George Clooney? What? Yeah. Adam who? Oh, Family Guy.
Yeah. Oh, man. And that's when, they start putting it all together. They are attached to the world's largest loudspeaker. They needed Gustav because he's the expert in sound. They needed Pinkston because she has all these dishwashers with magnets in them. And so they're going to put it all together. And as Riddler reveals, they're going to use the loudspeaker to knock out all the people in Gotham National Bank so they can rob it.
Yep. I just wish that the speaker part had been a little bit better prop. It looked like they're tied to a giant sponge.
That's what I was wondering at first. I thought, are they tied to flypaper or something?
I mean, yeah, but
Hey, they blew the budget on the poster.
Exactly. So I'm sorry, we can't even get a cardboard box for them to be strapped to.
And that leads us to the end of part 1 there. It's the cliffhanger. As Joker is he's got his guitar out, and I guess it's hooked up to the loudspeaker. They're going to just blast music and blast Batman and Robin apart with the sound.
That's true. Yeah, I forget what type of guitar that is, but it could be a Fender for all I know. But yeah,
I would be no good at telling you that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's we're left there. It's the dynamic duo is going to get going to get their music cue unless you tune in same time tomorrow.
Right. And there's the announcer telling you to tune in, and the title graphics are there as he's doing, just like on the show. It's all the beats are there.
Same font. So
yep. Yep. Now, as I said, the second part is only 4 minutes long, and I would say suddenly this thing shifts to end of season 3 because
And now, let's dust out this amplification of criminal brilliance on the dynamic Dunderheads. Wah, wah, wah.
You will never get away with this.
Oh, but we will, Bird Boy. Don't worry, old chum. The night is darkest just before the dawn. Okay, Batman. Time to rock and roll.
the two are rescued by Batgirl, who I forget even, did she have any dialogue?
The only music he'll be playing is Jailhouse Rock. What are you waiting for? Get him!
Yeah, when she plays that chord that knocks everybody out, she says something.
Oh, she says something there. Okay, I couldn't remember. It's like, ta-da, Batgirl shows up in the nick of time, or, she's there for the very end, like a lot of the third season episodes. She doesn't play as big a part as she does earlier on in the season.
Well, that ended on a good note.
But she's there, she gets them loose, and of course, the bat fight breaks out. And that's what I was saying earlier. Just before the fight starts, they're, singing back and forth, the goons and Batman, Robin, and Batgirl.
Oh, yeah. I do like Batman's line of, the only thing you're going to be playing is Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah. And while the fight's going on, we get, the superimposed graphics from the first season. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one plus with technology these days. That's easy now.
Yeah, exactly. It's cheap.
So, yeah, you get the nice superimposed.
Yep. And once the fight is over, it's, it's nothing too violent. It's just enough to show you it's a bat fight. O'Hara arrives to wrap it all up.
Looking as clueless as usual.
Oh, yeah. Oh, looks like we're too late. No, you're right on time, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, how many times did he do that on the show? Oh, we had a devil of a time finding this place.
Yeah. Oh, man. But see, now that's the thing. Like, even then, that would have been cool if they just done a little, hey, where did Batgirl go? To give her a little more of a moment.
Man, she was like an afterthought. I mean, really, it's like, how are we going to get these kids out of here in 4 minutes?
Because then we cut back to Wayne Manor and, a little thing there where Bruce is wishing.
Who knows, Dick? But I have to believe there's a chance that they can reform, become upstanding citizens one day.
Gosh, Bruce, you're right.
But you have to think that at least 3 of the 4, he's like, yeah, I've lost hope on those guys.
And then Aunt Harriet comes in to give us our ha-ha at the end when she wants to buy a record player. And, of course, the two are immediately against it.
No. Dick needs his peace and quiet.
Exactly.
And, Yeah, now they didn't give us a next week Batman battles, blah blah blah. I mean,
No.
I was hurt from that.
No. There was that. There was that little part of me that was like, yeah, that would have been kind of cool. I would have suggested. And I saw this first before I saw the Star Trek one. So, because I was like thinking, gosh, what if they do more of these? You know, these kids are still in school. They're young. Why not? You know, but no, that was that. Now, I don't know if they did anything else other than Star Trek and Batman. But both are really, if you ever get a chance, there'll be obviously links. Actually, I'll put links up for both of them so you can watch them.
Awesome.
They're really, really well done. And the music of all is what really stood out to me. I mean, obviously, yeah, like you say, also the production values are much better than, dare I even say, much better than they should be. For a production with just, because you could have just had one camera and those kids would have been just thrilled. There was a lot more going on here and a lot more thought. And those kids are going to have some great memories as they get older of the time they actually shot a film.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for all we know, that this was professionally shot by somebody.
Right.
No, like I said, that band candy went a long ways. Because it's very slickly done. It's low budget, but I mean, they're not driving around in a refrigerator box.
Right. Which is what it could have been.
Oh, absolutely. No,
I still would have said that's adorable.
Oh, yeah. But just the mere fact that, oh my gosh, professional costumes. Everybody has a costume. Everybody.
Yes.
You know, just normal citizens, they're decked out very 1966. So, you know, there's a lot of care involved. I give them 5 stars for a great job.
Okay, so I think this is an easy one to answer, but I got to put the question to you: Nora Clavicle or this?
The Beatles. Geez. Well, if I had to pick out this.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, what might have made Nora Clavicle work better? Music.
Not filming it would have made it better.
Well, there's that, too.
I mean, this was done by grade school kids.
Yeah.
Nora Clavicle looks like a grade school production.
True. Now, now there's something. And all right, granted, we could say, but yeah, this is, 2018 or 19 when this was produced and stuff. That's not fair. But the fact is that was a major television production in 1968. And
right.
It looked more like what you would expect from these kids.
Yeah, I was expecting everybody in the show to start breaking out in West Side Story. Mm-hmm. I mean, dare I say that this little 13 minutes had better production values
right.
than Nora Clavicle.
Yep. Absolutely.
They spent it all on the mice.
Oh, man. Gosh. I wonder if now, see, that's something there. I wonder if Burt Ward has ever seen this and what he thinks of it.
I have to think that they've probably seen a lot of them just out of sheer curiosity.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that they saw the one that we previously viewed just out of sheer curiosity.
Yeah.
They probably get a chuckle. It's like, what the heck, it's, good on them. Good job, kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're not like Star Trek. I mean, it's like, oh, wow, somebody's actually doing my part and doing a decent job.
But overall, I enjoyed it. And as I say again, take a look. I think you'll appreciate it as well.
Oh, yeah. You can watch this over lunch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily. Now, here's the thing. I asked, because we talked about this before, for next time, what we should do. I don't remember the name of it exactly, but I do know in watching it ages ago that Scott Sebring makes an appearance in costume as Batman at the very end. Now, you said you knew the name of that one.
I think it's called Little Batman.
Little Batman. All right. Because I'm thinking, why don't we keep this up and do Little Batman another 66 tribute film done with kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, we do have some fan films that we can go through that have been a lot of fun. And this certainly was not a bomb, folks. Right. I would certainly recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one fan film out there, and I got to find it. It's god awful, I think. I don't know, but the folks who did it were so damn proud of themselves, and they were on the Facebook groups, posting it up. And I couldn't get through like 2 or 3 minutes of it, but I'd still be game to do it here, especially since we're doing a series called "Some Days You Can't Get Rid of a Bomb." So why not?
The only one I ever saw remotely like that, and it wasn't Adam's Batman. It was like The Dark Knight Returns, the Frank Miller paperback. They were trying to do that. It's so terribly done, I couldn't get through 1 minute of it.
Oh, no. This thing that I saw was Adams, and what they tried to do was just Beavis and Butthead it, as far as I could tell.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like you really don't get what this show is about. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you said rocket.
Yeah, I'll track it down. But for the next one, let's do Little Batman. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, so good to get back on board with these. I'm glad I can finally come out of hiding.
Yes. Witness protection is lifted off you there.
Well, after the last one, it's like, oh, think of the children. It wasn't for the children.
It wasn't for. There was a warning and everything. So, but even then, there were just some who, and I get it, I understand it, just didn't want to be bothered, didn't want to know it from Adam, so to speak. But
they missed out because we did it very tastefully.
I think we did. I do not think we were at all in any way crude as they would view the material. And I understand. I'm not downplaying how they feel about the material itself, but I think we handled it very tastefully, and I think we did it from the point of view of, fans of Batman 66 looking at a Batman 66 artifact, and that's what it is. It's again, as I explained there, if you're going to cover Batman 66 and you're going to say you're going to talk about all the influences, you got to talk about all the influences it's had on every aspect, whether it's kids or adults or whatever, fan films.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So all right. So Little Batman it is. Now, before we go, the Batman Facebook group, what's happening there? Because it's been a while since we talked about that.
I have been, during this tough time, I have been posting photos and stuff that I find that I think are interesting. That's really all that's going on. I've had some people that have been posting some articles from their own website, that are boosting the 66 moniker. So it's like more power to them. Right now, it's like if you want to join, go ahead and contact me.
Cool.
Right now we need a little brightness in this world. So if you have fun with 66 Batman, hit me up. I'll make you a member.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. And yours is definitely one of the better groups out there. Yeah.
No, I'm glad that you're back to doing this. I've really missed your podcasts, John.
I've missed doing it. Between work and then some of it is just attitude. It's really, you and I talked about it before the show. It's really hard to have a good attitude sometimes in the midst of all this, and I need to sort of get back on track with all this. I've missed out on doing with Jim Beard and with Dan. We haven't done a comic book one in ages. I only just finally got around to releasing one with Joe Stuber that we did with the Candyman that we'd actually recorded months ago.
Candyman?
Not Candyman. But yeah, wasn't it Candyman? What was his name? Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth, yeah.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth. That's
Paul
it.
Lynn.
Yeah, well, that wasn't Paul Lynn, though.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
What do you mean it wasn't?
That was Lenny Weintraub.
I could have sworn they said, okay, here's the thing, and you need to find this. You need to find this, okay. John. We talked way back when about you looking up my local newspaper back in 1977 because Burt Ward was appearing that weekend, and he talks about the animated series, and I could have sworn he mentioned that Paul Lynde was playing Sweet Tooth.
I will do the search for that, because if that's the case, then I owe Joe an apology, because he's been going on about Paul Lynde. I'm like, Joe, that's not Paul Lynde. I'm telling you, it's not him. So then I'll owe him a big apology.
Yeah, because I think Bert said, it's like, oh yeah, we've got Paul Lynde as Sweet Tooth.
Okay. All right. I will definitely do my research then, and I will find that article and see where because it's got to be around the time that the show was premiering or airing.
I think it was didn't it show in 77?
It was February of 77.
Yeah, so he was Bert was appearing in January in my hometown.
Okay.
Of 77.
All right, so there you go. So now I've got my month. I can narrow it down from there with some search terms and stuff and see what pops up.
It was a Saturday because he got the big spread.
Even better. So that leaves me with all those little things narrow it down for me there. 4 weeks, 4 Saturdays in January 1977. I'll take a look.
I can't wait, because if you find it, please send it to me. It's a beautiful article. They've got a great photo of him in the original Batmobile.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll tell you what. When we get off here, I'll do that, because it won't take long to find it. So.
Yeah, but so that's what's going on, folks. And I'm probably going to ask John off air what he's been up to, but. Well, it's been months, folks.
I know.
I mean, I've been jonesing for my Batman fix, and I just ain't getting it.
I know. And again, it's just like I say, all those other folks that Joe Crow trying to get back to Monster Squad, and Kevin Eldridge with Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. I mean, hell, we've only got 4 more to go with that. So. Plus now that we've got, and I got to actually, when we get off, I got to talk to you off air about Legends.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We got to start setting that thing up. So, but anyway, we're talking shop here, folks, and we should just wrap this up. And thank you so much for being patient as we're gearing this show back up again into hopefully full steam. Keep an ear out, keep an eye out on the feed, keep an ear out on your phone devices and your computer and stuff. New episodes will be along shortly. Until then, though, citizens, thank you so much for listening. Once again, Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
And citizens, take care, and we'll see you soon.